The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Love. A short throw to Musgrave. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Now a 2nd and 2. Now the first carry for Zach Moss. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he is caught. And still fighting. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give the receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
That play ended for a net loss by Jesse Bates. The Jaguars had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
2 yards on the pickup there. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. You look at this Browns defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go and get to that #1 spot.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 22-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. They'll run on first down with Moss. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Love. Musgrave's got it out right. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll try and run for this with Moss. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. On 4th down, Love. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Even though it's the opening drive of the game, he wasn't shy about taking off and running with the football, even knowing the defense is definitely going to take their shots at him. And that's exactly what they did. He better learn to slide, otherwise he won't be around to...
Touchdown! Joe Fortson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars are on the board first here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Incomplete. Brandon Ayuk, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and 4. You look at this Jaguar defense. This unit 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. They'll go for it. Here's Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Purdy bootlegging it. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, that's one way and a good way to get things going offensively. One play in, and they're already on the move. The defense, they're hoping that's not a sign of things to come as this game unfolds.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Brandon Ayuk, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Jaguars on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw now. Here's Love. He's got his target. That's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively. Just too hard to keep him under wraps. It delivers a big play here for this offense.
Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Love now. He'll buy some time right. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Love, they go play action now. On the move to his left. And that is incomplete.
Ray certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And this one is right down the middle. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Browns drive about to get started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Purdy will set up to throw it here. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
He's got room to roam. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. A big play that time for Cleveland. 44 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side.
Touchdown, Browns. Joe Mixon from 3 yards out. And the Browns will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Oh, and a nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Open man is Musgrave, the tight end. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll run here with Moss. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Now Love. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff, and the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First target, first catch, and a first down. Mixing up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Back to throw, Purdy. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now Purdy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 36. The third down conversion successful. A gain of 11. Play action. Now Purdy. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Rashad Bateman, 36 yards, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Love from the gun. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Moss. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
A short throw to Musgrave. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's second down. Now Love wants to shift things around. On 2nd and 9, Love flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Open man is Duvernay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And he lost the football. Well, one of the linebackers has got it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. Here's Purdy. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 42. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun to give to Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 7. And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Matthew Judon in there to take him down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Eluding the pressure right. To Mixon on the check down. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Out of the gun, Purdy. And this one is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Here's Love. Sliding out of the pocket. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing. Love. He finds Hopkins complete. He's got room at the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. First catch of the game for Hopkins. It's a 1st down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Love looking to throw it. Rolling to his right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
2nd and 10. Going back to Love. Touchdown, Jaguars. Zach Moss, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
I can't look. 3 points are huge. Come on, we need these 3 points.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball. Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Purdy. Got a man. That's Ayuk. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. And Purdy, he's going to shift him around into something else. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got a Jenkins, the tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now a short one to Gesicki. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Inside handoff to Nixon. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Mike Gesicki, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Browns are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Oh, this is blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. And after all that, they're going to start out with unbelievable field position on the return. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Working out of the gun. Love. Downfield, and he's got Olave. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Love. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Down to the 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, this defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick 6.
And how about the way they've played this entire game? Not only have they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick 6s, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down small.
He's got him in, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. To throw now, here's Love. They'll roll him out right. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing to the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Love now. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To the air again, Love. And he fires one, but incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Going up top. And it's incomplete. Well, still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over.